Welcome to another edition of Living Along the Treasure Coast. I'm your host, Mike Line. Every week we'll be putting out different episodes of the different areas around the Treasure Coast. So don't forget to subscribe down below so you can keep updated. Today's episode is about who's on your team. Here, Mike Line here again. I'm in front of Clover Park. That's the spring training and the minor leagues for the New York Mets. So this is where players come down to hopefully make the team. The manager gets to go and see each player as they play through spring ball, and then he'll pick his best players to put together his team to go try to win a championship. So the manager goes through the different positions. You know, you have a pitcher, a catcher, the infielders, the outfielders, as he goes through each one of them to make that special team. Well, it's the same thing for real estate. You need to have your team be able to pick your positions. And what I'm about to do now is go over each position to make you an all-star team. Now, the first position is your real estate agent or your realtor. And they're acting as kind of like your quarterback or the pitcher of the team, or they're the leader of the transaction. So it's important that you get a good leader to be able that has access to all the other positions and knows them. So the process of purchasing a home will feel less daunting and overwhelming when you have an experienced and knowledgeable realtor. In upcoming episode, I will be telling you the difference between a real estate agent and a realtor so you can make up your decision on which way you want to go. Today, we're just going to be calling them an agent. So your agent will be there to represent your best interests in the home buying process. That way, it can make your experience as smooth as possible. When you first meet your agent, be prepared to discuss your goals, your priorities, your must-haves, and your deal breakers, and also your financial situation. Your agent will weigh these considerations against the current trends in the market and send you home listings that will suit your criteria and your budget. That is why you have to be totally honest and upfront with your buyer's agent that's not only knowledgeable in the prices, but the type of homes in the different areas. You can actually do video chats with your agent before even physically seeing the property if you want. Or you can meet your agent at the property and view in real time. It's also great to be able to pick out different homes through the online process and then set up a caravan. Therefore, you're going through and looking at different homes. You can compare them all at one time with your agent. Your agent will help you with your final purchase offer. They'll get involved in final negotiations, and they'll be there during the closing process and actually hand you the keys. So make sure that you have that agent that you can trust, that actually has your best interest in heart. The second position is your lender. So you'll be dealing with a loan officer, right? So if you're borrowing funds in the form of a mortgage to buy your house, you'll carefully choose that lender that you're going to be working with, especially since there are various types of loans and mortgage lenders out there. So aside from your real estate agent, your lender will be with you during the home buying process and likely for years after the home is purchased as you pay the loan. But even before you start your house hunting, it's great to get a pre-qualification letter, but it's highly recommended that you get a pre-approval, which makes you a stronger buyer. You can even get an all-cash offer in some lenders, depending on the lender. But a pre-qualification is an informal way to see how much you're able to borrow, which is a great place to start when you're out with your agent looking at homes. But if you're ready to buy now, the pre-approval is the biggest asset in getting offers and negotiations. Just to let you know, the pre-approval is the lender's commitment to lend you and is assessed by the lender looking at your credit worthiness
income and assets and other relevant paperwork they'll ask you for. This commitment is what will help secure your loan and get you into the underwriting process. From then on, your lender or mortgage company will work with you and your agent to hire an appraiser to facilitate the escrow process and to finalize the closing costs associated with buying your home. Your lender will also handle things like property taxes and insurance payments until the mortgage is paid off. So once again, it's very important that you choose a lender that is reliable that you can work with. The next position is the home inspector. It's a crucial step in searching for your dream home in home inspection. So you want to make sure you have a knowledgeable home inspector on your team. Remember that your property is probably one of your biggest investments. So you want to make sure that you protect yourself from any future issues or hefty expenses for major repairs later on. So after the initial offer has been accepted, you'll want to hire a home inspector to thoroughly inspect the home's condition. They may uncover any hidden issues that only a professional can, and estimate the cost of those repairs. Issues related to structural or electrical or plumbing will easily be spotted by their trained eyes. This way, you and your realtor can then renegotiate with the seller to cover costs of repairs, lower the total price, or simply walk away, especially if the home has found some serious structural damage. Now, depending on the age and condition of the home, you may also consider hiring inspectors that will specifically check for like mold or lead paint or other toxic materials like random and asbestos. If you do have a water well on the property or a septic, those also need to have inspections. The next position is the home appraiser. Now, don't get confused with the home appraiser with the home inspector. The home appraiser determines the value of the home for sale through an unbiased and professional evaluation called a home appraisal, which is required by lenders before even issuing a mortgage. Now, the appraisal will be ordered through your lender. An appraiser will consider factors such as the size of the home, exterior and interior conditions, and will compare it to similar homes in the neighborhood before determining its home value. The appraiser will basically verify that the home you want is worth the money you're going to pay for it before you're even getting the loan, and ensure that you're getting a good deal on the house that you want. The next position is your title officer and your escrow officer. They usually work in the same office together, but they do in certain areas have separate title from escrow. But your title officer or title company also plays a huge role in your home buying journey. The title officer will do a thorough investigation of public records to ensure the legality of the title of the property. They will make sure that there aren't any outstanding mortgage payments or unpaid taxes or liens on the title or any other issues before ownership is transferred from the seller to you. After this, they will issue a title insurance policy that will protect you from any outstanding claims over the ownership of the property, protecting you as a buyer as well as your lender. Now, escrow is who you'll be transferring your earnest money to. They'll set up an escrow account. They're basically the accountant for the transaction. They go through and make sure everything is satisfied. They provide you a settlement statement at the time of closing that outlines every single fee and charge associated with the transaction, and they'll give you your bottom line and what you need to bring in. Your lender usually gives you a loan estimate in the beginning, and they coordinate that with the escrow officer to come down with the final figures. When you're signing your final documents, you're usually at the escrow office, or if you're at your home with a mobile notary. Some escrow officers come out, some lenders come out, even some real estate agents come out at the signing to make sure that you understand fully what you're signing and that you're comfortable with the transaction. The next position is not always used, and that's the real estate attorney. Now, some states require that a real estate attorney is present at the closing, similar to the escrow officer, while other states do not. So even if your state doesn't, hiring a real estate attorney can be well worth it to mitigate risk and help you have a smooth home purchase. Now, your attorney can help prepare and review documents and to help you resolve any disputes that arise during the transaction, especially if you're purchasing a distressed property or inherited estate, and will be present at the closing to represent your interests. Since real estate laws are a matter for state and local jurisdictions, having an attorney on your team can ease your mind when it comes to buying your biggest asset. And lastly, you'll want home insurance. You're definitely going to want financial protection for one of your biggest purchases. So that's why home insurance is a need. A standard home insurance policy generally protects your home and personal property if it's damaged by most natural disasters such as theft and water, fire, and accidents. Your home insurance pays to repair or rebuild your property in case it's been damaged. It also covers your personal belongings, additional living expenses, and liability protection. The coverage you'll need will depend on the location, the age, and the condition of your home. That's why it's important to have a home insurance agent that you can trust, that knows the area, that knows the home, and knows the cost to get you the right protection.
So, now that we've gone through all the positions, are you ready to assemble your all-star team to make sure that you get that house that you want? Well, that wraps up this week's episode. So don't forget to comment below or subscribe that we can get updated information. So we'll see you next time on Living Along the Treasure Coast.